Hi, it's April from the Noble Garden. Today is May the 21st, 2021. It is my third garden tour. And in case you don't watch my other videos and you see everything growing, I am in Central North Carolina, Zone 8A. So that's how I'm able to get started so soon. So let's take a look at everything, guys. We'll start up here with my Determinate tomato plants, and you'll notice there's white powder over everything in my garden, and that is because I'm having a little insect issues, and I put some diatomaceous earth down. If you are wondering what diatomaceous earth is, I talked about it in one of my other videos. I have not released it yet, so watch out for that video. It will be coming soon. So here are my Determinate tomato plants. This one back here is not doing that good. I'm actually going to take it out, and I've got another one to replace it. These are my other Determinates, and they are actually a couple weeks ahead of the other ones, so that is why they're bigger. And I do want to show you a bunch of my little tomatoes growing. There you go. That's the same group that I've been showing you every week. Look how much bigger they're getting. And you can actually see some more on the same plant right here. See if I can get us to it. There we go. Earlier today, I counted a total of 19 Determinate tomatoes growing already. Now we will look at the potatoes. Guys, these potatoes have exploded. They have gotten huge. And some of them are even starting to flower. You see that flower right there? I'm gonna have to make you guys a video on potatoes and their stages of growing so that you can know what to look out for, because they're kind of different. They grow under the ground, or under the soil, so they're actually a little different. Here is my herb tower, which I don't know what it is with this herb tower, but it just does not do good for me. This right here is the only thing that's popped up that is deal, and I look in here every day and the soil dries out very quickly, so I'm wondering if that's part of the issue. But my mother-in-law's got some oregano. I think I'm going to take a couple pieces of it and put it in here, and then I think I'm just going to put some holy basil in here and some of my extra peppers. Here's the other potatoes that are growing. Some flowers on them. We'll go down, look at the tomatoes. These tomatoes, guys, are getting bigger every week. I'm getting excited because there's a few of them that are very close to touching the top of this fence. Now, when they touch the top of this fence, I will show you guys how I attach them to this fence so they learn how to grow up it. You see how close this one is? This one's very, very close. Now, I have two good sun golds right here side by side. And then this sun gold I'm going to leave because it does look pretty decent. But we lost one in the middle there. And this one's really not growing. And my two Amish pastes really don't look that good. So I think I'm going to rip those out. And that will give me 5 spots right here. Because I have a couple tomatoes. I've been wondering where am I going to put them anyways. So I think that's where I'm going to put them. And then here are my basil and my pepper plants, which are looking really good. In one of my other videos, I talked about taking these cages and making the peppers every other have a cage. So that way I could put the cages on the other ones that didn't get any cages. I think doing every other, they'll still get support enough. Try that this year and see how it happens. If anything, I'll come back with bamboo sticks and help support them. So right here, I added a holy basil. Look how big this one's gotten. This one, guys, is still quite not big enough to put to a trellis, but it's getting there. It has a couple flowers I'm going to leave because it's big enough. I'm very excited about that. That is my Cherokee Purple, which you've heard me talk enough about as one of my favorites. They're looking really good. My early girl, which is one of my other big ones. It's got a couple flowers on it that I'll leave. Guys, right here with the early girl, the other thing I added were some cosmos seeds to see if I could get some flowers growing near this. Here I put some zinnia at the end of this one, seeds. And then you can see my regular peppers. They've lost some leaves, so I'm not worried about that. I'm watching the stalk, making sure the stalk stays green. Remember, some of these got burned. Well, they were in the greenhouse when it got too hot and they lost all their leaves, but their stems stay nice and green. We'll see what happens. A basil was added. These are the ones I'm talking about that need cages. On the end of this bed here, I added a couple seeds of a white sunflower I'm very interested in. I added a basil. This is the last row of tomatoes, guys, and it should be a few weeks behind those in the front. And actually, sometimes I look at these and I think they look better, but they were put out when it was warmer, so maybe next year I might want to consider planting tomatoes a little bit later too, like I do peppers. I just get impatient. I love tomatoes and I get impatient and I want them. But this last row, as good as it's growing, I might want to rethink my thoughts. All right, guys, let's go look at the other bed. All right, guys, look how big and beautiful already my volunteer sunflowers have gotten. They grew very fast. And my borage, and I have some type of flower there. I do not remember what I put there. More holy basil. And I've yet to figure out what's growing in here. I am assuming a cauliflower by the way it's acting. It has been extremely hot in my area this week, so I would not be shocked if I get no cauliflower and no broccoli. Here are the onions, and look at that lavender. We could sit here all day and stare at that beautiful lavender. It has the prettiest flowers. And the smell. Guys, I rub my hands through it like this. Sniff my hands, and oh my God, that smells so good. Here are my zucchinis down here. My parsley, zucchini. All that is zucchini. My onions are doing good. Look at them bulbing up real good there. I follow advice from another YouTuber about what he called ringing in, I think so I got it. And I'm gonna have to make a video because there's some of them I didn't do it to, but it's kind of nice because you can see what they're doing. And that's not gonna hurt them. The roots are still in the ground. It helps it bulb up like an onion. A lot bigger than what our onions last year got. And I have a few left that I need to do it to, so I might be able to show you right quick actually, because I think this one needs it done. So when you're ringing in an onion, all you do, I'm gonna pull back this, and I'm taking my finger, actually I have a little knife and I'm just loosening up the soil around it. So that way, and it gets wobbly, but that gives that onion enough room to bulb up and grow. Because I'm not hurting his roots, I'm just exposing the head a little bit. Those weren't as big as I thought they were, but they probably still needed it. My green beans are starting to reach, you'll see. You see this guy? You see him? He's starting to reach. I have a few of them doing it actually. See? And then here's my bolting broccoli. It's okay. Like I said, you can eat the broccoli flowers. The broccoli flowers can be eaten. They're edible. They just taste like broccoli. My kids will come out here and pick the flowers and eat the flowers. Actually, guys, that was really good. It's really sweet. I'll take me a few more of those. All right, let's finish looking at everything, guys. This one right here is reaching too. For climbers like this, you'll see what I'm doing. I'm hoping that it'll stay and give it what it needs to grow up. And anytime they're long like that and I can do that, that's how I teach them to grow up. This poor broccoli is what I'm thinking it is. I think that it might just be my plant that gets eaten up by bugs. Maybe if the bugs focus on that one, then they'll eat less of other ones. Basil. One thing you can do to basil to keep it growing Ooh, that basil smells good. Like I said, this is my first year growing red basil. I'm gonna let it get a little bit bigger, but what you start to do is it grows like armpit stuff, kind of like what we talk about with tomatoes. Like you see the main leaf here, and then it has this armpit one. As it gets bigger, if you pinch those armpit ones off, it promotes it to grow and keeps it from seeding, going to seed. So I will start doing it. I'm gonna let it get a little bit bigger, then I'm gonna start doing it. If it starts to seed, I'm most definitely gonna go ahead and do it. My little okra. And then you're gonna start seeing some cabbages. I probably need to put some BT on this, and we'll talk about that later this week. A sunflower. Here's my other. I think I'm going to put some distance between those because both of those grow big. I think I'm gonna take the okra and move it over just a little bit this week. This cabbage is beautiful. And then I did put another holy basil. Guys, from where I ran my fingers through that red basil down there, all I can smell is basil now. Here are my pea plants growing up on my lovely arch here. This is the first time I've successfully seen my peas grow this much. And I'm staring at it right now. When I'm done with this video, I've got some peas to pick. I already picked some this morning. This is how fast they grow. I picked some this morning. And now I'm seeing peas like this that were not this big this morning. They need to be picked, and I can add them to my lunch tomorrow. And then tomorrow I might have to come out and pick more. They grow fast. Look how big this one right here is getting. It's going to be up that trellis before I know it, and I'm going to have to teach it how to grow this way. This is awesome. My noodle beans on this side is getting bigger. My pumpkin, I have one pumpkin there and one pumpkin there. And then I only have one honeydew, and I'm gonna come back and seed one more honeydew. So these marigolds here, guys, one thing I want to teach you about flowers is if the heads, when they die like this, tear them off. Same method, guys. You tear off the dead stuff, and that will make more heads on flowers. So that's why I do that. All right, I'm gonna turn this over. Look how big my cantaloupe's gotten. It came down earlier this week, and I thinned them out a little bit. This one died. That's okay. There's one right there, one right there, and one right there, and then more noodle beans. And you know, look at that. Like I said, I'm going to leave it there for now. At some point, I want to take it out because any cool plants, once it gets too hot, they don't taste good. But right now, that tastes good, so I'm going to leave it there. Sunflower. I guess I need to go over on that side so you can see it. Guys, this is a random strawberry. This used to be my strawberry bed, and it survived over here. I need to move it into the strawberry bed. Here are some squash that are growing. If I decide to rip out, that's either cauliflower or broccoli. I may take it out just to give room to this squash to grow because it's kind of shadowing it, so the squash isn't getting all the sun that it needs. Look at the head growing in that cabbage. Cabbage is another cool one, and I am worried that I may not get any cabbages before it gets too hot too. I'm now spotting caterpillar in there. That's probably what is. So I'm most definitely going to come and put some BT on this stuff this week. Ew, they're slimy and gross. I just totally picked that off. Corn, looking good. Looking good, corn. Look at this red basil. Gosh, it smells so good. Didn't show y'all cucumbers yet. Same thing, guys. I came out and I thinned out my cucumbers, so you're not going to see as many as you did in the other videos. Another view of this right here, guys. I'm pretty sure, and I don't know if it's going to do it, it's my purple cauliflower. Weeds I still have not come out and taken care of. Just by the purple leaves, I know I put purple cauliflower out here, so I really do think that's what that is. And I think this right here, guys, is my broccoli. And when I came out, I did not keep up with what was what. But I'm starting to be able to tell what they are just by their leafage. This right here is either, I am almost positive that it's zinnias, but it could possibly be early sunflowers because both of those were in this area. Another plain basil, a nasturtium. Looking good. More cucumbers that are getting really big on me here. Marigold. Another view of my gorgeous lavender. Same thing, I thinned these out. I did not thin this corner out because I want to see. This is my Armenian white cucumber that I am dying to make sure it grows. So I didn't want to pull out too much because I had trouble getting it to seed. So I'm leaving it, letting it get bigger. And when I finally see which ones are bigger, I'm going to keep. I really want to keep one at the end here. So that's why I most definitely didn't take that one out. But I'm going to probably leave at least two, at least. I don't know. I haven't really made my decision on that. There's not really much to show with the strawberries. They're going to start probably not being in the videos here soon. So I have June bearing. And they give you that big harvest. And then they tweeter out. The other problem I'm having is birds. Birds are eating the crap out of this. Last year we built this contraption that covered it. My husband took it down because he wants to do something different. And we just have not had the time to protect these strawberries. So honestly, the strawberries are being grown for the birds at this point this year. I mean, you'll see some pretty ones still growing. Like this little patch right here. There's a couple more patches there. I don't expect much because the birds have been eating them. Every time I come out, I'm lucky to find one for myself. There is something else I do want to show you that strawberries do. And this is how I came up with so many strawberries. They throw out runners. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about runners. This will eventually have roots on it. And you'll notice that it will root right there. It roots where it lands and it plants itself. And that's how I end up overwhelmed with strawberries within a couple years. And that's how I get my new plants also. Here are the other ones. You see flowers on that one, so more strawberries will pop up. But like I said, I feel like at this point I'm feeding the birds more than I'm feeding my family. And that's our fault. They get big and they're very beautiful. And they're very tasty. So I'm sad that they are eating them. Alright guys, every week I show you my chickens. They're probably thinking I'm crazy for bringing them snacks so close to bed. Some of them have actually even gone to bed, but you bring out food and they come running out. I usually do these garden tours in the mornings, but I have woken up way too late this morning. I've been working the last few days and I really needed to soak water, like water everything. So because I woke up a little late, I focused on watering everything versus this video. But I don't know, I might start doing the videos in the evening. It's much quieter out here. It's very peaceful. I think I like the lighting. The chickens might think it's weird to get snacks at this time. Georgia! I know this is what chickens do, but what I don't understand, guys, is that there is enough, obviously, for everybody. And she just wants it all. And what I think's funny is that Georgia is a buff Orpington. And buff Orpingtons are supposed to be like the sweetest, calmest, the most loving bird. And mine's not. These ladies have been good girls. They've been laying at least 4 eggs a day. Alright guys, I decided not to show you my fruit trees and bushes this week because there's not much change to them and there's not too much change for my flower garden. However, I did finally pick my first ripe blackberry, and that blackberry's good, so I most definitely want to plant me a few more of those. But me and my little girls did something this week that I want to share with you. Everybody, meet our baby chicks. After getting Ginger's test results and realizing she had nothing to make anyone sick, this is something I wanted to do. I wanted to raise my own chicks. These are a mixture of different types. I will make a video talking about that. But I just wanted to introduce them to you guys. They are different ages. Before someone says that to me, I do know that they are different ages. They range from less than 1 week up to about 4 weeks. Thank you everybody for watching my videos. So this is my surprise for you guys. I'm going to show you my dad's garden. I know you guys watched me put it in like a month and a half ago or so. Today is May the 17th, 2021, and his garden went through a couple of frost, so you're going to see a couple changes. So this is his strawberries, and just like me, he deals with problems with birds eating them, so he made him a little contraption here. We actually just picked them, so you probably won't see much in them. But here are his squash. They're doing really good. He's actually got several squash babies growing. You see how well his squash is doing? This man's about to be eating a lot of squash. Here are his onions, and his potatoes are doing really good as well. And these right here are supposed to be his bush beans, but it looks like he's got bush beans that grow runners, and that can be possible with certain types of bush beans. This is his oldest onion, and you'll see that it is blooming. There are his other strawberry bed with the contraption to keep the birds out. Now he's got some more potatoes in this bed that go along with the corn. His corn looks really good. The frost, he had a lot of trouble with his cucumbers, so that beautiful row of cucumbers you'll notice, he's been reseeding it, the way he's been telling me, and he's just not having that much luck with these 2 beds. But I do see several little seedlings that have popped up for both beds. And here are his tomatoes. Now, he does tomatoes different from me. You'll notice that I grow mine on them cattle panels, and I take off all my suckers. My dad, however, does not take off suckers. And let me show y'all. And he also doesn't pick the flowers off like I talk about either. So there's a sucker there. Let's see if I can find a better one to kind of show you. Here we go. Here is a good sucker right here in the middle. So main leaf, sucker, top of the plant. This is one of the tomatoes that did not die. So it is the biggest in his bed. There's his pole beans that are going crazy. You'll see about pole beans grow a lot of runners. And so this bed used to be nothing but watermelon. Same problem. He lost a lot of it in the frost. This is his main one that grew. And then these are the tomatoes that he put in there. This man's going to have a lot of tomatoes. And this is his other watermelon that made it. And then here's another look at his cucumbers. All right, guys, another thing I got my dad into is chickens. He has been loving his chicken. He has way more chickens than I do, guys. I have 5, and he has like 14. But this is my first time seeing them, and they're beautiful. These are his nesting boxes. And if I can get closer, he's got eggs in that. I might go to the other side, guys. There you guys go. There's his eggs for the day. But look at these beautiful things. They look like they... He says they're not as friendly as mine, that you can't go in there and pet them and pick them up quite like you can mine. I didn't try today. Thank you everybody for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed my tour. If you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.